When I was a kid growing up in the Ogmore Valley in the 1950s and 1960s, I was, like so many of my contemporaries, second or third generation incomer into those valleys, people who came in the case of Ogmore Vale, from the 1860s onwards to find work in the expanding coal industry. And alongside names like Thomas or Davis or Evans or Williams, there were also names that indicated that people came from a little further afield. Well, names like Keane, I also remember a family called Palfreyman, and there was the O'Connells as well. So all these people coming in to find work, moving from sometimes completely different environments and different life experiences. I had the great pleasure to meet Billy Bowen from Hook in Pembrokeshire, and he travelled to Nantymoyle in the very early years of the 20th century. And he travelled from Hook, and he said the train fare cost him 8 and 4pence, and it was 100 miles, so that was a penny a mile. And he came from working in a rural environment, he was working on a farm, and then he made that important transition into the industrial environment. And if things had been tough for him on the farm, my goodness, his experience of starting in the coal mine was so far different. So, when work was so hard and so tough, leisure time, such as it anybody ever had, was so very important. And of course there were the pubs, there were the clubs, a whole range of activities related around the chapel, and music was so vitally important. It was an incredibly important part of the leisure and society at the time. You had the choirs, of course, but you also had bands, and Billy Bowen remembered very fondly a couple of bands in Nantymoyle.
I couldn't get in the temperance band, so I had to get in the Beer and Bacco, and that was a town band, see? The Beer and Bacco was all them that was thrown out of the temperance, see? For drinking. Anyway, I was in this Beer and Bacco band, and that was a disgrace to the chapel, see? Because they used to hold all their band room was in a pub, the Blue Hotel at the back of the Blue Hotel. That was their band room, see, and it was a disgrace for a fellow to go on the chapel.
Billy Bowen played the cornet, but he was adept at playing other instruments as well.
And joined mouth organ band. And the idea of it was to play in the hall for the pictures. And they put benches all up behind the screen, and it's a queer thing to tell you, but it's true. You can see the same behind the screen as you can in front. So we were 60 in a mouth organ band, and it was a lovely thing, a mouth organ band, and power was 60, mind, and of course you got different keys, and I come to play the mouth organ band very well. And another chap there, John Bunyan, brother Gethin, is also a soloist, baritone soloist in the choir. And both of us was picked when the fellow was changing the film on the thing at the back of the hall there. You had to take the film off the wheel, you know, turning it around with his hand at that time. Both of us was picked to play a solo on the stage during the interval of changing this, what do you call it? So mine was Napoleon crossing the Alps. What a rousing solo, man. I could play it, mine. Hand and all going, I guess. I might have been fighting before I went in with a chap on the way down to the lesser hall, see? And it hit me against this steel stairs in the bottom of the stairs there. And it ripped my trousers all the way down here, man. And that's only damage it done to me. But it caught me unaware, man, so never here. And anyhow, my turn come to play on the stage. And I had to go on the stage with my pants all inside. Well, I played my solo all right and had a mighty clap for that.
One of the joys of speaking to those people over 50 years ago was that it gave me a flavour of what life was like for them in the early years of the 20th century. You know, so often The great events are well recorded, but the lives of ordinary individuals often get forgotten. And so it was so marvelous that those voices remembering can give such a wonderful insight into a particular time and a particular place.